introduce the first act. Would you please welcome, all the way from Iqaluit, Nunavut, the one and only Steve Sullivan, a.k.a. Lumpy! How we doing, everybody? I'm going to get the mic stand out of the way so it doesn't block anybody's view. Oh, that was nice. He's giving away some stuff. Don's giving away stuff. Maybe we'll have I feel like I'm the guy at McDonald's and giving away free smiles. Oh. Edmonton, it is great to be here. I am from Iqaluit, Nunavut. I left, it was minus 15 degrees. We were getting 4 hours of daylight, and my wife is menopausing. It is great to be here. Let me explain menopause. That's like a period on steroids. Wow. 24/7, 365. Another way is this, when you're under 50 and your woman comes into the room and she's in her unmentionables, she looks at you and you look down at your little friend and he perks right up and off you go. When you're in your 50s and your gal comes into the room and she's in her unmentionables, all you hear is, before you can even look down, all you hear is, why is it so hot in here? And we're in the Arctic. It is minus 50, doors and windows are open. I'm in a parka trying to figure out the exact sentence to say that's not going to get me in trouble. Doesn't happen. Oh, I can see a few of you nudging each other. It's a white guy. There's a white guy on stage. Yes, I am. Don't need to do a CBC documentary or expose. Save everybody the trouble there. But I'm an old, fat, white guy. So I get invited to some shows and some different things, but I found out I was old this year. So guys, we'll say things trying to recapture our youth. Oh, after hockey, oh, man, I'm getting old. I would have had that. Oh, I'm getting old. Well, on St. Patrick's Day this year, I was at the lounge, and I mean, my last name is Sullivan. That's my favorite day of the year. I bump into a fella, younger guy. Being typical Canadian, first words out of my mouth are, I'm sorry. He gets defensive, he's cocked, he looks up, he sees me, he looks me in the eye and says, oh, I'm sorry, sir, are you all right? I was crushed. I turned really quick to my wife and said, honey, I might have to fight this guy for my honor. But as I turned really quick, I'd hurt my back. Oh, it was all over. So March 17th, I found out I was an old man. Not a good feeling. And it's going to happen to everybody. If it hasn't happened to you, it will. You'll find out you're old. Oh. But as I said, been getting invited to some shows. I've done some cultural shows and a Nubian show. I've been invited to several LGBTQ plus shows. I'm not LGBT or Q, but, well, I got plus down pat. Oh. And after that, I've done like 4 of them, and I was in Nunavut and did one there, and after the show, about a week, 10 days later, I get a message on Facebook, and it said, hey, are you bi? I ignored it, and then about 3 days after that, I get another one, are you bi? And all I could think is, you know, if I was in my teens or my early 20s, I might have been upset. I might have been defensive, gone on the offensive, had machismo, said something I would have regretted. But I'm 56 years old, and look at me. All I can think is, I'm back in the game. This is something else. Oh, that was a big day. Oh. I said, so by round of applause, who's kept their New Year's resolution? Okay, so I'm not the only one. So on January 1, I quit drinking. And I know what you're thinking. Well, Lumpy, aren't you supposed to lose weight when you quit drinking? Well, turns out ice cream and cheesecake aren't good substitutes for alcohol. Lesson learned there. But, you know, recently and things, and I've been, you know, trying to go to the gym more, eat better, be smarter with decisions, because I like shopping at the mall. See, for those of you who don't know, the big guy stores, they're usually on the outskirts of town. And if they're successful, after a year they put a donut store or restaurant on one side, and on the other they put a gym. So it's like one-stop shop for fat guys. So, and if you go to the big guy store, you'll find they've got Tommy Hilfiger, they've got Ralph Lauren, they've got the names. I had to conquer one store at the mall, American Eagle. You go there, that little pixie cheerleader, all hopped up on Red Bull. Hi, sir, and who are you shopping for today? Which is a polite way of saying, we don't have anything for you, fatty. So I've been here a few days now. They flew me in early. And I was at West Edmonton Mall, and I went to American Eagle, and there she was. There's the pixie. And she said, hi, sir, and what would you be looking for today? Some pants? Shirts? Well, I started walking through there like that store owed me money. Man, I was excited. And I bought I'm going to a warmer climate in a few weeks, so I bought a pair of shorts and a shirt, mostly out of spite. And it turns out that as I'm going to pay, I see this pair of jeans. Wow, they were funky. They were 25, 30 years my junior, but they were funky. And then I look at the price tag, $280. You skinny people are getting ripped off. I can go to the fat guy store, twice as much fabric, $110 tops. I walked out of that store to the food court with a vengeance. I am eating my way into a cheaper wardrobe. Oh, it is nice to be here, Edmonton. I've got some friends in the audience, and my sister is here, so that's nice. I've never performed for family before. And, my sister, she moved here a few years ago, and was weird because she had a partner, and he was a very outdoors fellow, liked to hunt and fish and things. And, well, we're from southern Ontario, London, Ontario. There's not even a factory in our city. So this guy liked to hunt, H-U-N-T. My sister, she done HGTV. And all she gonna help do is feng shui the deer blind. I mean, it was unbelievable. What? And then I thought, I'm going to go buy her a Christmas gift. And I went to Cabela's. They have pink camouflage at Cabela's. And my sister says, oh, yeah, I know, I've got some. Of course you do. You're only upset because it's not Louis Vuitton or Barbie or something. But my sister and her friend, or her partner there, they love country food from Nunavut. So I've been bringing back different things. We had caribou, muskox, char. Well, I was able to get a hold of polar bear. Now, at that time, I was running the bar, so there was a lot of trust issues. So I had to ask a bunch of people, hey, how do you cook this? And everybody said the same thing. You have to boil it for 5 hours. You have to boil it for 5 hours. They missed a word. You have to boil it outside. My God, the stank off of this. We have clothes we had to throw out. Oh, the apartment, her neighbors wouldn't talk to her. She almost got evicted. Oh, it was horrible. Oh, jeez. Oh. So Edmonton, and I'm not sure if it's happening here. Is COVID rearing its ugly head out here? Yeah, no. It's rearing its ugly head back out in Nunavut. And as you can imagine, we're the smallest territory or province by population, and we're woefully ill-equipped for it. So the mask mandates have come back at the hospitals and whatnot. And don't worry, I'm not organizing a truck rally or anything. And I'm glad they haven't brought the masks back to the workplace and things like that. And it's not for political motives. It's not for other things. It truly is selfish. I do not want to smell my own breath blowing back in my face after questionable food choices at lunchtime. I had a shawarma one day. I had to take a half day off. Couldn't do it. Oh, that being said, has anybody here ever had a COVID test besides everybody in the room? Good. The first time I had the test done, I was in London, Ontario. visiting my folks there. And the fellow says, all right, here's what I need you to do. I need you to tip your head back. And then he had his finger out. His pinky was out like we were having tea with the Queen. And he goes into my nostrils, goes one side, does the other side. He says, it's going to be like swallowing pool water in the wrong tube. It was. I had a tear. He gave me a Kleenex. It was like we had a moment. It was lovely. Fast forward ahead to a week later, and I'm in the Philippines. They handled it a little differently. First off, they grabbed my chin, not chin's chin, pushed it up. The fellow was grabbing it like this, and he starts doing this. And I'm like, hey, pinky out, pinky out. He's plunging, using it like a toilet plunger on my nose. I said, I've got 4 or 5 brain cells. You can't go swatting them with a stick, folks. No. Oh, man. And I thought it was done. No, no, no. Not only does he do both the nostrils, then he looks at me, and he says, open your mouth. And so I open my mouth, and he grabbed the swab, and he goes into my throat, and he starts pushing it down my throat and going, well, I'm fighting it. So he grabbed the back of my head, and it was a very uncomfortable feeling. I was very upset by it all. So as I'm sitting there waiting for the results, all I could think of is, shit, I owe some women an apology. If only I'd gotten a blowjob in high school. Folks, thank you very much. That's my time. This was a pleasure.
Awesome job. Once again, give it up for Steve Sullivan, a.k.a. Lumpy. That was awesome, brother.